Dragon Bobby: Story of a Life is an adventure platformer which is desperate to be meaningful. It stars Bobby, a former human reincarnated as a dragon who collects fragments of his memories to look back on his life, leading up to his eventual death and rebirth. To this end, you're dropped into a variety of open landscapes littered with baubles to collect. Upon collecting them, you unlock new vignettes from Bobby's life and learn more about him. Unfortunately, both the vignettes and exploration are lackluster. The world in Dragon Bobby is full of unclear, obnoxious invisible barriers, bad collectible placement on average where you can nab most of them just by going around the perimeter, and some very unrewarding, rudimentary pathfinding. The game does try to keep you engaged with unlockables and optional content, but it's not sufficient. The big reward in this game is supposed to be seeing Bobby's memories, and all of them are kinda dull. They're uniform, predictable, and lacking in depth. It's not as though the memories or the events they portray are themselves the issue, but they're sorely missing both continuity and context. You need the social and cultural context of Bobby's life so we know his relative place in the world around him, and we need continuity because existing has consequences. All things flow into and are affected by all other things. But Bobby's story feels isolated except for the parts which are relevant to his momentary emotional feelings. It's hollow, empty, segregated. And that's really how the whole game feels. Nothing is coherent. The game wants to remind you that time can only ever be spent, that life is made of moments, so it places clocks everywhere. But the rest of the world is very disjointed, filled with improperly scaled architecture and bland, unmemorable landscapes which communicate nothing about the themes on display. Basically, Dragon Bobby wants to ask, what is time? And how can we, as linear creatures, ever grasp its magnitude and significance? By what measure is our failure owed to autonomy, and by what measure is it owed to fate? And I wish I could say it succeeded in that goal, but it's just missing too much.